Hi, this is Shannon with The Domestic Animal, and today we're going to be learning about how to train dogs how to harness themselves before they go out on their walks. This is especially helpful for dogs who have harness aversion or body handling sensitivities. And we're going to be getting some assistance from my friends Zool, Aries, and Blitz. So the get dressed cue has a few core elements. You're going to give the cue and present the harness. The dog will approach the harness, put their head through the harness, and then they'll stand still while their belly strap is clipped. And Aries is a pro at this, so she's going to show us how it's done.
Get dressed.
She walks seamlessly into the harness and stands still while I put on her belly strap, and she's ready to go after that. Frankly, she was ready to go before we started recording because this was about our 5th take. So let's start by reviewing some of the basic mechanics of training a new behavior. You're going to start with a lure, a prompt, or a visual cue. Your dog is going to offer some sort of behavior that might be an approximation of the final behavior or something that you can shape into the final behavior. And if the behavior meets the criteria for that step, you're going to mark it with a bridge word or a clicker. And after you do that, you're going to give the dog something that they want to tell them that they did the thing that you want them to do. You can use a treat or a toy. For get dressed, it works best with a treat. And then you're going to repeat it until it's clear that they understand what's expected of them and advance the criteria as you go. Finally, you'll add a verbal cue, and if you want to, you can fade the lure, the prompt, or the visual cue. So here's how this is going to work for get dressed. You're going to hold the harness up. You're going to present a lure on the other side of the harness, close to it though. The dog is going to put their nose through the harness rather than going around the harness for a treat. You're going to mark as soon as they put their nose through the harness. You'll feed them. You'll take the harness away, and then you'll drop the harness by your side or on the floor so that they understand that working with the harness is over, the behavior is over. And then you're going to repeat, and the cue at this point is essentially holding the harness up. So you could be on the other side of the room, hold the harness up, and they would come over, just like you saw Aries do in the demo. So we'll start with Zool. Zool has a little bit of training by the time we filmed, but she's very harness averse historically. So we start with the harness cue and the lure. She goes through, I mark and feed. Hold up harness, lure, head through, mark and feed. Then in stage 2, she's so fast, she picked it up so quickly that she didn't need that lure anymore, and she could just go for the harness cue, puts her head through, then she gets marked and fed. You can see she's not really pushing her head very far through. And that leads us to this next bit where we're adding a prompt where my hand is empty and inviting her through. And finally, we've added a verbal cue. It's fine that we're still using that end prompt. And at the very end, we're gonna drop our treats in such a way that she doesn't really care that I'm reaching around her body and I'm trying to reach as little as possible, because that's one of the things she doesn't like about having a harness put on. So we're just we're putting her body in the place that makes it easy for us to get to those straps. And now she's all dressed.
Okay.
So when you're working with the puppy, there's a few things to keep in mind. You might need to use a prompt as a sort of split between the lure and fading your lure. Your steps are going to have to be a lot easier, and you really have to make sure that you have their attention at any given moment. Pay attention to whether they're tired, do they need a play break, and expect them to need a lot more practice. They're just going to need to go over things again and again. They'll be distracted easily, they will get frustrated easily. We just have to accommodate for all those puppy emotions, puppy sensitivities, and you'll see some of that from Blitz coming up. So here we are with Blitz. This is my second time working with Blitz. We've done very little harness work before that. We're again presenting the harness cue and a lure.
Good.
She's doing great for a couple of reps. Then something seems very interesting on the ground.
Ready?
She's not ready.
And I've lost her. So we got to get her re-engaged and we start again. But the harness isn't so interesting anymore. And now I'm going to use anything at my disposal that will get her interested. The food, not working. Ah, but the promise of a kiss, very enticing.
Good.
And now there's a noise that happens and she gets a little nervous.
We're safe.
And it's important that when that happens that we pause and we address the dog's emotional state. This is especially true for puppies who are just learning about the world, but this is really true for any dog, especially sensitive dogs. And when dogs are playing, it's hard for them to be afraid. So that's usually a really great way to get them relaxed again. And here we're going after a toy again, but then something happens again. Oh, it turns out harnesses look a lot like toys to puppies. So we gotta find something better. The toy I had wasn't enough. We found a plushie, and that was better. Plushie tug. And now it's time to wind down the game, just being less interactive, but not paying attention to her.
Good.
And then when she drops it, I just mark it and reinforce that she's let go of the toy. This is an intro skill to drop it. And then we go back.
Good. Good. Good.
Now we're going to test something called prompt jumping. This is to see if she understands that what comes after the harness is she puts her head through. But she doesn't really get it, so we need to go back to using the lure. That's fine. We just need to see where she's at. It's like an assessment. So instead, I faded the lure and added a prompt with my empty hand. So she thinks I still have a treat in my hand when I put my hand out, but I don't, which she learns really fast, and you can see that in this second rep. She's less interested. She's like, there's no food there. But I made it a little easier, a little more enticing. And of course, I always still reinforce her. And we're going to reinforce through the harness so that she gets that association. Now, since this can take a while to build up the whole behavior, we're going to just use a lure to get her dressed and again to put her body in place to get the chest strap clipped, the belly strap clipped. And then she's ready to go. And we don't have to worry about interrupting training. It's just going to proceed the next time, no problem. And remember that puppies love to chew on leashes, so it's a great idea to bring a toy with you as you go to give them something else to chew on besides their leash. And off she goes.
In my hand. Good girl.